Hey Booklanders, welcome back to another video. In today's video, as you can tell by the title, I will be doing a top 10 favorite books of 2020. In today's video, I will be talking about all my top 10 books, and I just want to give you guys so much love because I am at 118 subscribers. If we could just get to 120 or 150, please guys, it'll be amazing. Okay, so let's hop right into the video. My first book for my top 10 favorite books this year is Monster. I finished this book probably within a day. I have never read a book that fast. I have loved this book. I gave it 5 stars. If you guys don't know what it's about, it is about a 16-year-old boy named Steve, and he is in jail right now because he was framed for murder. So what happens is he goes on this whole trial and they do this whole investigation, and then basically we find out some deep stuff, and I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed this as well. I hope you guys, even if you have not read it, I highly recommend you read it. All the books I talk about in this video, I hope you guys can go and read them. I'm gonna try and leave like the list down in the description. The next book, my second favorite book, again, this is in no particular order, but my second favorite book this year was 10 Blind Dates. Now this is like a Christmas type of book, so I might reread this for Christmas. But it is about a girl named Stephanie who recently just broke up with her boyfriend. I don't exactly remember the reason why, but what happens is her family's just like, you know what, I think it'll be better if you just move on. So what she does, or what her grandparents do, is they're just like, okay, everyone book your appointments. The next 10 dates are blind ones. And basically each chapter, it talks about a blind date, and at the end it just takes you by surprise and you just start crying because of the family bond that everyone has in this book. The third book I highly recommend. I don't know what just happened. The third book I highly recommend is To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Wow, like I again flew by reading this book. This book was one of the most amazing books I've ever read, and I have the whole series over here. You cannot see it, but I have the whole series. And basically it is about a girl named Lara Jean. Sorry, I couldn't think of the name for a second. Lara Jean, and she ends up realizing that all her love letters that she's had for her past lovers has been sent out. Now she is devastated that that happened. So what does she do? She goes up, she talks to the boys, she's like, yeah, that was past. And it does all these different love stories, especially with Lara Jean and Peter Kay. The whole series is basically about their relationship and how they go from friends to best friends to even lovers. So again, I highly recommend you read this book. The fourth book on my list is Little Women. Wow. Yes, I read this whole book. And there's one person I think I relate to in this book, and it's Jo. So Jo is basically the main character, and what it's about is she is helping her family, you know, survive. They're not really rich, and they can't always afford the best food. So she's just like, okay, well, I enjoy reading books. I enjoy all this type of stuff, so why don't I just go and make a book about my family? So she goes and she starts writing Little Women. And it talks about all the sisters love stories, and like even their stories of being independent. And with Jo, what I truly enjoy about her is that she always puts her family first and then she puts herself. And I feel like that's why I can relate to her so much, because sometimes I'm like that as well. Again, highly recommend. Yes, sometimes I did get confused because of the writing that it had, but I would probably reread this book if I want to. The next book I have, which is number 5, and should not be a surprise to you guys, is You Are a Badass. So this book helped me figure out what I wanted in life. It helped me like understand my strengths, my weaknesses, and I enjoy reading it because I really took down some notes, and it ended up talking about how like if you know what you want, basically it helps you find who you are. The sixth book I have on here is Twilight. I'm currently reading the Twilight series. I'm on Eclipse right now, but I fell in love with this book. I read Midnight Sun. I enjoyed it, absolutely did. And then I was just like, okay, well, since I read Midnight Sun and I haven't really read the Twilight series, why don't I just read that? So I read this and I'm just like, what? I didn't know this happened. Huh? What? I'm confused. How is this happening? What? Huh? Thankfully, I have like one book friend, or even more book friends, but I have this one friend who's a die-hard like Twilight fan, and I always come to her and I'm just like, wait, I'm confused with this part, blah, 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 blah. So basically, it's about Bella, who ends up falling for a vampire. And when I say falling, I mean like falling, like madly in love with him within like 3 to 4 days. Okay. So basically it talks about her story with falling in love with a vampire, and she basically says that she wants to be with him for the rest of her life. She really has that down and she's not gonna change it. So what I truly enjoyed about this is I love learning about not just one character. You know how books just always go about that one character, just talks about them? No, in this series, it talks about Bella, Edward's family, Bella's family. It goes deep into thought, and I really enjoy that because I don't like it when it just talks about one character over and over and over and over and over and over. Like, you know? Can't even say it several times. But again, I highly recommend you read the Twilight series. Let me know in the comment section down below if you are planning on reading the series. The next book I have is book number 7 is Becoming by Michelle Obama. I truly enjoyed this book. The reason why is because it talks about Michelle Obama as a child, as a teen, as an adult, when she meets Barack. And it just talks about their love story in this, and I would not want, like, I'm very blessed that I got this. It even shows, I believe it shows pictures as well. Yeah, it has pictures of like what she did and all that stuff. But it even talks about her children, and I think when she found out that she was pregnant with her true child, it's just one of the most amazing books. If I'm speeding up and it makes it seem like I'm repeating everything, I'm sorry, but I'm not very good with using my words and I'm trying my best, okay? So bear with me. The 7th book, I don't even know anyone right now. So this is the next book, and it's Red Queen. Most people don't really enjoy this book. I do, because there's this amazing love story that happens between like Mare and like two princes, and I'm just like, okay, Mare, I see you, okay. And she finds out that she has these powers, and then this whole story goes on. You can actually see my series right there, but basically it just goes on and on and on and on about her story, her boyfriend's story, her family's story, and it has all these different like powers and whatnot. So Mare is a red blood, and red blood means like they're poor, they don't really do anything special, they probably sell food, all that type of thing. And then there's silver blood, the high people, the princesses, all that type of stuff. And I truly enjoyed it because it's like it always grabbed my attention somehow. And I love kind of ancient like stories, like Jane Austen over here. I'm trying to read right now Pride and Prejudice, Sense and Sensibility. I'm trying to read Romeo and Juliet because I'm starting to get into those type of books now. And I, again, highly recommend you read this. Some people wouldn't recommend it, but I do. I'm letting you know though that the second book in the series, kind of boring. But yeah, the 9th book I have is The Upside of the Unrequired. This book was a true love story in my eyes. And I truly enjoyed it, again, because it talks about a girl who had so many crushes in her life, but she never really went up to them and did anything about it until she meets one boy at work. And I was just breathtaken by the story and how well the author put her words together for their love story. I could just go on and on about it, but I'd rather not. And plus, she never had her first kiss. So there's that. The last book in my book series, oh my god, what happened to my voice? The last book in my book series is Crown of Midnight. Now, I should have said Throne of Glass, but Throne of Glass wasn't really like the best book. And Crown of Midnight, I enjoyed. Most people were just like, Throne of Glass and Crown of Midnight is like the worst ones, and then it's whatever. But I like this one because I feel like more action is getting involved with this one. And I feel like more action was getting involved in this. And again, I would continue to read this series because I'm planning on trying not to touch all my big series like the Harry Potter and the Throne of Glass series. Try not to touch that until next year, so then at least I have more books to read next year. But yes, as you could tell, I have quite a lot of notes in it, and I like it ends up talking about in the last book. This isn't even the last book. Okay guys, that's the end of this video. I want to let you guys know that next week, Friday, I am planning on releasing a reading vlog because I haven't posted a reading vlog in, well, forever. So there's that. Bye guys, see you next week.